Hello, my amazing students. This is Mrs. A, and I love math. And we are here with lesson 92 in your Saxon Blue Book, and it is all about word problems. And so we're going to have to represent our word problem with an equation. And then solving the equation will be very simple. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. The sum of twice a number and 42 is 128. And we need to remember that sum means plus. We're going to add two things together. And the and sign, the and word, is where the plus sign will go. So the sum of twice a number, so twice means two times a number. And when we write things close together like that, that means multiplication when one of them is a variable. So twice a number, and is where we're going to put our plus sign. 42 will be our equal sign, 128. That's it. So now that we've written our equation, the next thing is to find the number. So we're trying to find the n, which is the only variable. And in order to do that, we have to get this 42 on the other side. So we're going to subtract 42 and subtract 42 from both sides. Remember, whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. My teacher used to say, whatever's good for the goose is good for the gander. And she was my favorite math teacher. That was Mrs. Almond many years ago. And twice in, this one goes away. And then I have 128 minus 42. We'll just slide our equal over because we're out of room. 8 minus 2 is 6. And 2, borrow, is going to be 12. Minus 4 is 8. So twice in is 86. So the last thing I have to do is divide by 2. And then over here on this side, I will also divide by 2. And I wind up getting n equals 86 divided by 2 is 43. I can do that one in my head. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do is check it. So the sum of twice 43, and twice 43 is 86, and 42, so 86 plus 42 is 128, and it works. So let's do another one. Okay, this is example 2. 27 less than 3 times a number is 144. What is the number? Okay, so first we express our words into an equation. Now, 27 less than 3 times a number. We're going to start with 3 times a number, and we're going to take 27 away from it. So 27 less than always goes at the back. 3 times a number would be 3n equals 144. So anytime you see less than, you're going to, the 27 less than, we'll put it at the back of the equation here as a minus 27. And what is it less than? 3 times a number. So 3n minus 27 is equal to 144. Piece of cake. So now we're going to do what? We need to get this by itself. So we want to get rid of the negative 27. We will add 27. When we want to get rid of a number, we add its opposite. So plus 27, but whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. So I plus 27 on the other side of the equal sign. I get 3n, this cancels, equal. So now I need to add 4 plus 7 is 11. And then 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then the 1. So now I'm going to divide 171 by 3. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Now, there's a cool trick. I know that this divides into 3 equally because our 3 division rule says that if I add 1 plus 7 plus 1, I add the digits together, I get 9. And 9 is divisible by 3. So 171 is also divisible by 3. That's our 3 divisibility rule, and it is really cool. All right, so I know that 171 does divide by 3 equally, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to do it over here. And 3 goes into 17 5 whole times. And I'll get a 15 and a 2. I'll bring down my 1. 3 into 21 is 7. So 57 times. So that means the 3 and the 3 are going to cancel, and n equals 57. So I'm going to put 57 right here because I'm out of all room on my board. So now let's check. Let's go back up here. 27 less than 3 times a number. Well, 3 times 57, well, we just did it. 3 times 57 is 171, and 171, take away the 27. Okay, so 171, take away the 27. And when I borrow, I get an 11 minus 7 is the 4. That's now a 16 minus 2 is the 14. And it works. Okay, in example 3, we have a negative number. 4 more than 33 times a number equals negative 95. It's sounding like my number's going to be negative 2, doesn't it? All right, let's check. So 4 more than means I'm going to put a plus 4 at the end of my little statement. 33 times a number would be 33n, and then equals negative 95. Let's see if we wrote it correctly. 4 more than, so 4 more, excuse me, 4 more than 33 times a number equals negative 95. It looks right to me. So now we're going to try to get the n by itself. So minus 4 minus 4. 33n, this one goes away, is equal to a negative 99. Now it's easy, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to divide by 33 on this side. I'm going to divide by 33 on this side. This goes out, and n equals, what's a negative divided by a positive number? It's going to be a negative 3. So in this case, our n is a negative 3. So let's check it. We always need to check it. So 33 times a negative 3 is the negative 99. And then 4 more than that would be adding a positive to a negative. So it actually, we're really subtracting them, aren't we? So we're going to have 99 plus a negative plus the 4, but it was a negative 99. So they're opposite signs. We end up getting to negative 95. And that's what we were supposed to get. Okay, so we are finally at the practices. That was a pretty quick lesson, but we do have 3 practice problems, 3 examples and 3 practices. So the sum of 3 times a number and negative 4 is 32. So I want you to pause your video and go try to write that equation and check your equation with mine when you come back. So pause your video. Okay, so first we're going to write the equation correctly. The sum means addition. And here's the first part of the sum, and then where the and is where the plus sign goes. So the sum of 3 times a number would be 3n, and is where the plus sign goes, negative 4, and if you want to, you can put negative 4 in a little parenthesis, is 32. The sum of 3 times a number and negative 4 is 32. So now that we've written it, if you didn't have that, you need to pause your video again and go solve it. Okay, so now that we're solving, add, since we want to get this by itself, always get your variable alone. We're going to add a 4 and add a 4 to the other side. We're going to get 3n equals 36. Divide by 3, divide by 3, and n is equal to 12. All right, let's see if it works. The sum of 3 times 12 would be 36, and a negative 4. 36 plus a negative 4 would be a 32. Okay, so look at the board. Hopefully you got that right before you looked at my answer. I'm hoping so. Okay, we're going to do 2 more practices. Okay, this is practice B. So I'm going to show it to you, and then I want you to pause your video. 4 more than 9 times a number is negative 77. What is the number? Okay, can you see it? All right, go write your equation. Pause your video. All right, so now we are looking at how to write our equation. 4 more than will be a plus 4 on the end. More than what? 9 times a number, so that will be a 9n, that's our equal sign, negative 77. Did you get the equation correct? 4 more than is a plus 4 on the back side of the statement. 9 times a number is negative 77. So hopefully you had that to start with, but if you didn't, pause your video again and go solve it. Okay, so we're going to subtract 4, subtract 4. We're going to get 9n equals negative 77, and a negative 4 is getting more negative. So we're going to add them together and take the common sign. Same sign, add, take the common sign, and we're going to get 7 plus 4 is 11, and 8, negative 81. We want n, not 9n, so we'll divide by 9 and divide by 9, and a negative divided by a positive is a negative 9. So our answer is n equals 9, negative 9. Okay, so now let's check it. Negative 9, 4 more than 9 times negative 9. 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. 4 more than is adding a positive 4. Negative 81 plus 4 would be negative 77. And we got it correct. There's your board. Hopefully you were able to do that without my help. Here's our last practice. 5 less than 5 times a number is negative 55. What is the number? Okay, so copy it down and pause your video. Okay, so here we go. 5 less than means we're going to put a minus 5 at the back. 5 times a number is a 5n. Is our equal sign, negative 55. Okay, 5 less than goes here. 5 times a number goes here. Is negative 55. So now we're ready to solve. Okay, if you did not get the equation right, you need to go solve it on your own before you watch me solve it. Okay, plus 5, because we're trying to get this by itself, plus 5 on the other side. 5n equals, now we have a negative 55 plus a 5, opposite signs, we subtract and get a 50, but it's a negative 50 because the negative is larger, so negative 50. 5n is negative 50. Divide by 5, divide by 5, and 5n divided by 5 gives me n. And then over here, we get a negative divided by positive is a negative 10. So n equals negative 10. Now let's go check our answer. 5 less than 5 times negative 10. 5 times negative 10 would be negative 50, and 5 less than that is going to be 5 more to the negative, which would be, okay, so we had negative 50, and 5 less than that would be negative 55. And that is correct. We had negative 10 times 5 is negative 50. 5 more negative added to it would be negative 55. And it worked. And we are done with lesson 92. And this is Mrs. A. And may God bless your day.